I'm Mark Carter Pierce, the U.S. Senate candidate for 2028 from the great state of Pennsylvania, an independent voter, and this is the bonus reel. I recently, 3 days ago, celebrated my 63rd birthday on this earth. And like many, I reminisced on my birthday to days gone by, to the good old 80s and the 70s, when there was nothing but love and flower power and there was peace. There were discrepancies between peoples. Some people were pro war, some people were against Vietnam. And by the way, ultimately, it was public dissent against Vietnam that ended that conflict, that forced Richard Nixon to call a truce. Further, it was Richard Nixon who was our first real presidential criminal, who had the brains and the integrity to know when it was time to get out. And he resigned as opposed to getting impeached and convicted in the Senate. Our biggest mistake, however, was allowing Gerald Ford to pardon him. Never should have happened. Then we would have known how to deal with the current problem that we have now, which is Donald J. Trump. But I miss those old days, and I know many of you do too. It was a simpler life. Think about it. Remember when kids played outside? They rode bikes like I did. I remember riding my bike from sunup to sundown. But when those street lights came on, home was the place to be. My mother and my grandmother used to say, we better not come out. We may not, we don't want to have to come out and find you. And don't you know when those street lights came out? They were right on the porch if I wasn't home yet. My dad worked shifts, rotating shifts. So a lot of times he might be at work in the evening or during the day while I was out. But he was there every day. He came home. Remember those days when we used to have to use payphones? Now you might see one every 1,000 miles. There are no more payphones. Everybody sits in the house in front of computers, iPhones, iPads, laptops. Nobody goes out to play anymore. Instead, they come up with these new crazy ideas of being furries and so on. Let me be clear, and I'm not condemning anybody. If you want to think your way, you think your way. That's your right. First Amendment guarantees you the right to express yourself as long as you're not a clear and present danger. But I never heard of furries when I was growing up. We didn't have litter boxes in our classrooms. There are some famous trans people that we didn't know about until we got older. But that's not my style either. And I'm sure it's not many of yours. I get it. We want an America where everybody was in a closet, right? That's what we want. Here's the thing. We shouldn't be passing laws to make it legal, and we shouldn't be picking on somebody to make it legal. Hey, the way that it works for those of you who call yourself Christians or people of faith, Jesus told us to love everybody. We don't have the power of life and death in our tongues. We can't send somebody to heaven or hell. Let God sort them out. That bumper sticker was truer than we thought. That said, let God sort it out. Because God is the one that can send people to heaven or hell. And if God disapproves of this furry and transgender stuff, then let him deal with them. He's better equipped than we are. But by the same token, I don't want a world. I don't want a country that alienates itself from the rest of the world, which has products, goods, and services that we need here because we don't have the technology to make it. We need a country that has good foreign and international relationships, that earns the respect of the international community. Not like now, If you listen to the words of Donald Trump, America is now being respected because of him. But that's narcissist talk. Narcissists take the credit for everything that they didn't do to make themselves feel better. I don't want to live in a country that rules by fiat. It's illegal anyway. An executive order? Let me tell you what an executive order does. An executive order is like a memo to members of the executive branch of how the executive wants things done in his branch. He cannot rule nationwide law using an executive order. It's not in the Constitution. It's not the way things are done. And to allow it makes you just as much a criminal as the one that tried to do it. I want to live in a country that obeys the rule of law, where nobody is above the law, including the executive. That's when you have anarchy and chaos. Oh, wait, that's where we are now. I wasn't born in a country where troops have to be in my city. There is no national emergency going on out there. Let's face it. The streets of Portland are quiet. There is no war zone there. There was no war zone in Los Angeles. Nor is there one in Chicago. Nor is there one in fucking Memphis. There's a bigger plan here. And while Trump, because he has the authoritarian power in this, and he's a figurehead, it's not really him that's coming up with these ideas. You want to know who the true enemy is? Stephen Miller and Russell Vought. Everybody else is a clay pigeon. Stephen Miller is the guy that manufactured all this ICE business. Russell Vought is doing the rest. He already did it. He's a co-author of Project 2025. Do you know what Project 2025 is? Well, let me explain it to you. In the text of the description of the mission of Project 2025, it says that it is a roadmap to Republican superiority in government for this administration and those to follow. It's perpetual. Now, they use the term Republican leadership. What they really mean, what they really and truly mean, is perpetual leadership by the wealthy. Because let's be clear, in Donald Trump's government system that we have right now, it's the rich and powerful that are running this country, not the people. And that's not what this country was founded on, is it? It's a damn disgrace, is what it is. But there will be a day when Donald Trump has faded into dust. As much as he wants it, as much as he wants the accolade of being a Nobel Prize winner, which tomorrow they announce them, I'm sure he will not get one. I'm virtually positive, I'll bet my dollar right now, that Donald Trump will not get a Nobel Peace Prize tomorrow. As bad as he wants one. As much as he wants a whole frills and gold funeral, as much as he thinks that the whole world loves him and respects him and is afraid of him, Donald Trump will fade into the annals of history as a scumbag and a menace to not just the United States, but the world. He will be the mosquito of history. And we're the ones that will pay the consequences of his actions. It will take a long time for the rest of the world to trust us again. It'll take a while to earn the respect of foreign nations, to show that we really do mean what we say and we keep our word, to show them that we do have a rule of law in the United States. And when the eventual trials come for Caroline Leavitt, Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Russell Vought, Stephen Miller, Pete Hegseth, when those treason trials come, and they will come, that will be the comeuppance. That will be the signpost to the rebirth of the United States the way it's supposed to be, the way it used to be. Normalcy will return, our markets will come back, and we will begin the hard and arduous path of regaining respect on the international stage. But it starts by removing the Trump lapdogs. History will not be kind to them. Oh, one other thing. Something that you might not realize, but let me explain to you something that you may not know is going on. And this is something we never, ever, in 63 years, never expected this to happen in America. But here's what's going to happen. Donald Trump is manufacturing. Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are manufacturing emergencies for the purpose of trying to incite or lying about the incision of civil war or civil disrest. When this occurs, Donald Trump would be authorized at that point to invoke a state of emergency. That unlocks a plethora of extraordinary presidential powers. His next move will be to invoke martial law. Then he can put troops anywhere he wants them. Not National Guard, the U.S. military. That's what he plans to do. Whether you like this or not, whether you want to believe it, I don't care. But this is what's coming. The evidence is clear. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Then he'll suspend habeas corpus, which literally means you have the body, which nullifies anybody from being seen by a judge, from going to court, from getting their due process rights. So you've nullified the courts, which were the only thing stopping you, and you've disemboweled the Congress. That is when he clinches and consolidates complete power. Then when that happens, the wealthy will get even richer, and you will get even poorer. You were worried about Democrats and liberals taking your guns? Do you really think an authoritarian is going to allow you to have a gun in your house? Do you think in Russia, Vladimir Putin allows those people to keep guns? He doesn't. And yeah, Trump is the guy who will have the military going door to door, searching houses and taking guns. So there go your Second Amendment rights. But that won't matter, because when habeas corpus is suspended, you won't have any rights. Your right to free speech, gone. Your right to own a gun, gone. Your right to be secure from illegal search and seizure, gone. Your right to be silent and not testify against yourself, gone. Your right to a speedy trial, gone. Your security from cruel and unusual punishment. Well, guess what? He's bringing the death penalty back, which means that he could hang you. He could hang you if you pick up a roll of Lifesavers in the store or a Reese cup and walk out the door without paying it because maybe you forgot. Shoplifter, kill him. And MAGA, this is going to happen to you. Not Trump's sons or his family. You. And us. We are the check on power at this point. We need to stand together. If you want that America that conservatives say that they want, true conservatives, the original patriotic conservatives, because MAGA Republican in particular, is not it. How can you call yourself a conservative when you gave $5 trillion to billionaires? That's not the actions of a conservative. Rand Paul stood up and spoke on that. Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are lying to you. They've been doing it. It's what they specialize in. Donald Trump has been a liar for over 50 years. Roy Cohn taught Donald Trump how to lie excessively. And with his narcissistic programming in his head, lying comes easy to him. It's just what he wanted. It was a Christmas birthday gift all wrapped up in one. So he doesn't have to be accountable for what he does wrong. He's never wrong. He's always right. It's what he does. And this is what we need to stop. If you want to keep in America, and if you want to build it back to the way it used to be, where everybody was pretty much happy. Never mind the trans stuff. Never mind the furries and all that garbage. We can deal with that later. Okay? We can deal with that later. Let's deal with the immediate problem. This orange fucking pedophile in the Oval Office and his cronies and acolytes that are destroying the country that you and I, whether we're Democrat, Independent, or Republican, that we love and want to see continue for at least another 250 years. That we want to be safe for our children and our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. We want a troop-free country. We want a country where we have rights. And just a piece of history here. 250 years ago, this country was formed to get away from a king, an authoritarian who took everything from the settlers and gave nothing. Do you really want that again? To spit in the face of those strong and brave patriots who started this country that we live in and love so much? We need to come together to stop this mess. It's the only way, because we are the last check on his power. I'm Mark Carter Pierce. I'm an independent voter and the U.S. Senate candidate from the great state of Pennsylvania for 2028. And you've been watching The Bonus Reel. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.